Welcome back to MMA Oddsbreaker. I'm Frank Trigg. Of course, that's the Kansas City Bandit, Jason High right there, getting ready to fight Rafael dos Anjos coming up here pretty quick. Didn't you just fight like a month ago or something? Weren't you just doing something?
Nah, I fought since November.
It's been
been a little bit.
Is that about the right amount of break for you between fights?
Yeah. I mean, no, I was supposed to fight January, but I had that appendix thing. So
How'd that go?
I mean, pretty well, I guess. Besides the whole, canceling flight in the hospital, everything's cool.
Besides everything else went with it, the hospital and the tubes and the stay overnight and the surgery. Other than that, it was fine. It was great.
Yeah, it wasn't. It was actually, it's longer than I care to be in the hospital. That's for sure. I mean, it's the longest I've ever been in the hospital. So.
How long were you in the hospital? How long were you in there?
8 days. And
then how long did you, after you got out of the hospital, before you started feeling right? And you started feeling like you're back to normal again?
Well, they said I could run in 2 weeks. I gave it like 3 or 4 before I started running, and then around 6 I started working out again. But I probably didn't feel like 100% normal till 8 or 10 weeks at least.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Now, how's the training camp going right now? Do you feel any effects of the surgery and the appendix problem?
Nah, I don't feel it at all. Like, everything's back to normal. I'm feeling good. This training camp's going real well, so I don't think about it hardly at all.
No, there's always going to be the nagging injuries that come along with it. Your hands hurt, your feet hurt, your back hurts, that normal stuff. But other than that, you're pretty much healthy, right?
Yeah, I'm good to go.
Okay, well, with that being said, then there's no excuses. So let's talk about Rafael. Let's just break him down then as an opponent. What do you see when you watch tape on him?
He's tough, man. He's got a good pace, good jiu-jitsu. Keeps the fight moving as most guys will do it at 55. So tough guy. He's I think before he lost to Khabib, he won like 6 or 7 in that division, and that's no joke. So
yeah, especially now the 55 division in the UFC is definitely stepped itself up. It's revitalized a little bit. So all the competition now is tough. What do you think it's going to do when you win? What do you think it's going to put you within the hierarchy of the weight class?
Got to put me top 10 when I beat him. I think. I mean, I think that he's ranked number 8. I mean, I know it's my first fight in the division, but coming off 2 at 170, and then this will be the 3rd in a row. So I think definitely top 10.
How's the weight? I was questioned coming down a weight class.
It's going good. It's like been pretty uneventful so far. I mean, Saturday after like a light workout, like maybe an hour, I was 171. So.
Oh, okay.
Did
you always feel like you were undersized at 170, and that's the reason for the drop down, or did you all of a sudden realize that you could just, because the diet changes and life changes, that you're like, hey, I can make 155 now?
I wouldn't say I was undersized, but I think I was definitely, I'm a shorter guy, so I never really felt overpowered at 70, but definitely, I'd say probably 90% of the guys that I fight are at least a few inches taller than me, so. But, I cleaned up my diet. I eat pretty clean anyway. But, I just cleaned it up a little more, and it's coming off pretty easy, really.
Now, other than Rafael's Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, what's the second best thing he brings into the cage?
I'd say pace and kickboxing.
See, I think pace. I think kickboxing is a separate deal. I think his kickboxing skill, my personal opinion, his kickboxing skill is good just because of his pace. It's not really technically sound. He just throws so much all the time with a lot of power and a lot of really concentration, like a lot of determination on everything. That's the second best attribute, is the fact that he's going to keep coming at you the entire time.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, pace is it's something I feel like you always got to worry about going down a weight class anyway, So that's something we've been working on for sure.
What have you done differently this training camp for 55 than you have at 170, especially since you're having to deal with pace?
Just we've been working on picking it up in practice, putting more output into rounds, just being more active, So not too much style change, because that's kind of like that's a longer process, but just putting more, picking up your pace and during your style, within your style,
Now, you're down in Florida.
Style.
You're down in Florida right now, right?
Yep.
Who are you going to work out with? And was it tough to make that change from the normal partners that you work out with at 170 to these different kind of guys you're going to work out for a fight at 55? Not saying the weight classes are different, but the partners should be a little bit different. How's it been?
A little bit. I honestly, I've been working out with a lot of smaller guys. It's one of the things I was actually excited for, is to be able to work out with some of these guys and, train a little harder with them, like Daniel Strauss, Dustin Poirier, Gleason Tebow is a guy who I work with a lot down here. So I mean, there's a lot of guys down here that I work with, and coming down a weight class opens up like a new group of training partners for you too. So that's always fun.
That volume of output that you had to increase, did you feel it the first couple of weeks of training camp? You're like, wow, I really got to, like, it kind of taxed you a little bit more than normal coming out of practices?
Oh yeah, you try to, you feel it anyway, and as a just coming down in weight, I feel like I get maybe I'm able to just to put more in, just by default, but you definitely feel it as you're pushing through those rounds. It's hard work, so.
What are your coaches telling you? Like, I know they're saying, higher output and this and that, but what are the keys? Like, when you're on top of them, you're gonna take them down. That's just how it's gonna work. When you're on top of them, they tell you to watch out for triangle. They tell you to watch out for sweeps. They tell you to watch out for arm bars. What are the coaches' cues to you right now?
Well, I think against a good jiu-jitsu guy, it's always important just to stay like basic in especially in the guard. Work, keeping your arms to yourself and good posture, and resetting after you punch. After he ties up an arm, reset back to home base. So just basics. I mean, when you roll jiu-jitsu with punches, it's a little different. Punch a guy and open things up a little different. So I think pretty much every fight, no matter who you're fighting, if you get on top of them, it's still you go back to a similar formula.
The formula for you, it seems to be working, especially at 170, and it should work at 55. Do you think you'll be stronger than everybody else down at 55 and just as fast, or do you think you're going to give up a little bit in strength because you have to catch up with speed?
I don't really feel like I've lost any strength so far. I mean, I feel like I've just been losing fat, just leaning out. I'm pretty lean right now. So, but as far as strength, like I'm still moving the same weight in the weight room. I'm still pretty strong. So I don't feel like I've lost any, horsepower.
How is the recovery time? Because a lot of times when you come down in weight, you have to caloric restrict, and so you're watching the food you're eating. It makes recovery a little bit more difficult too.
That hasn't been an issue either. I got a pretty good diet program. Staying on top of it, I don't think that's been an issue at all. I've been getting enough rest. That's, as you get older, that gets a little bit more important. Getting, a whole bunch of sleep at night, getting your naps in, making sure you're resting after hard workouts. So you got to be on top of that stuff.
When you're in Florida, who do you stay with?
They have a house down here that, that for traveling guys. So that's where I'm at right now. It's pretty good setup.
How are the roommates? Because I know too during training camp, sometimes you're under stress the entire time at practice, and you come home, you want to relax and chill the way that you want to relax. And sometimes the roommates are traveling too, don't necessarily want to relax that way. Do you have any problems with that?
Nah, I mean, I usually like to get I try to get a room by myself. There's one room in this house where there's 2 beds. So I try to get, if it's possible, a room by myself. But, everybody's down here, everybody's focused. It's not like, people are partying and doing a bunch of stupid stuff.
Well, I mean, identify, partying. Like, you just stay in the house the whole time? You don't go out at all? You don't go to the bars? Or I understand not drinking. I get that because you're in training camp, but you also need to relax. So what do you do for relaxation? You can't just sit in the house the entire time.
Oh, I mean, I can sit around with the best of them. I go out, just maybe, like, there's no cable or internet here, so, I'm reading a lot,
There's no internet? Cable, I understand. There's no internet?
No, there's no internet here either.
Man, I couldn't stay there. If I don't have internet, man, I'm screwed. I gotta have internet, no matter what.
Yeah, I mean, you know, if I want to look something up, I get on my phone or, you know, go to, you know, whatever. It's not a huge deal.
Yeah. All right. Well, it seems like a good setup. It seems to be working too. It's been working very well for you in the last little bit. So
definitely has.
All right. Well, that's Jason Hyde getting ready to fight Rafael dos Anjos coming up here on a UFC Fight Night. Jason, thanks for coming in here. I appreciate it. Good luck down there in the rest of your training camp.